Okay, so imagine this. You build the most incredible theme park in the world, full of amazing rides and attractions, but you forget to hand out any maps at the entrance. How would anyone find anything? Well, that's kind of what a website without an XML sitemap is like for search engines. So today, we're going to show you how to draw that map and make sure every single one of your attractions gets discovered. I mean, really, think about it. You can see your website as this giant, new continent. And search engine crawlers are like the explorers trying to chart it out. They follow the obvious paths, the links between your pages, to map out the territory. But what happens if your absolute best content, that killer blog post or that new product page, is on some hidden trail? Without a map, they might just sail right past. So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll dig into what we're calling the explorer's dilemma. Then, we'll introduce the perfect solution, the XML sitemap. After that, we'll get practical and walk through exactly how to create and submit one. And finally, we'll wrap up with why this one little file has such a huge impact on your site. Right, so let's start with the problem itself. Because without clear directions, search engine bots can and absolutely do get lost. This is a really big deal for, say, a huge e-commerce site with thousands of product pages, or even a brand new blog that just doesn't have a lot of other websites linking to it yet. You know, these bots, some people call them spiders, they basically just crawl from link to link across the entire internet. Now, if one of your pages isn't well linked to from other pages on your own site, or worse, if it's completely orphaned with 0 links pointing to it, well, the crawler might never ever find it. It's like a room with no doors. So how do we fix this? How do we make sure nothing gets missed? Simple. We don't leave it up to chance. We literally hand the explorers a perfect, detailed map of our entire territory, and that map is the XML sitemap. This is our direct line of communication, our way of telling search engines exactly what's on our site. And let's be super clear about something. An XML sitemap is not for your human visitors. Not at all. It's a file written in a language that bots understand. It's basically you saying, hey Google, here's a list of all the pages I think are important. Please don't miss a single one. It's your official inventory for search. Okay, now this slide clears up a really common point of confusion. On the right, you see the HTML sitemap. You've probably seen these before. It's an actual page on a website, usually linked in the footer, that helps people find their way around. The XML sitemap, over on the left, is its technical cousin. It lives behind the scenes and does the exact same job, but for bots. All right, enough of the theory. Let's get our hands dirty. How do you actually create this map for your own website? The good news is, you definitely do not need to be a coding genius. There are some fantastic tools out there that do all the heavy lifting for you. Basically, you've got 2 main ways you can go here. If your site is built on a platform like WordPress, you can use a plugin that handles everything for you automatically. And if not, no problem. There are free online tools that can crawl your site and spit out the file for you in just a couple of minutes. If you're on WordPress, this is the easy button for sure. Great SEO plugins like Yoast or Rank Math have this feature built right in. All you do is find the setting, flip a switch to on, and you're done. The best part is the plugin doesn't just create the map, it keeps it updated every single time you add a new page. It's totally set it and forget it. Okay, but what if you're not on WordPress? Maybe you have a custom-coded site. No worries, the manual way is still incredibly simple. You just go to a free website like xmlsitemaps.com, paste in your homepage URL, and click Start. The tool then acts just like a search bot, crawling your site from link to link. When it's finished, you just download the file it creates. Easy as that. So, you've got your map, it's been created, it's ready to go. Now for the most critical part of this whole process, delivering it to the lead explorer, Google. This is the step that makes all that previous work actually count for something. Think of this as the official handover ceremony. By submitting your sitemap to Google Search Console, you're not just crossing your fingers and hoping Google finds it. No, you are actively walking up to Google and saying, here is the blueprint to my entire website. Please use this to index my content properly. And honestly, the process is super straightforward. Once you're inside your free Google Search Console account, you'll see a Sitemaps section on the left. All you have to do is type in the end of your sitemaps URL, which is almost always just sitemap.xml, into that box and click Submit. That's literally it. Google now has your map. So why did we just go through all that trouble? What's the real tangible benefit of doing this? Let's talk about the payoff, because it's actually a pretty big deal for your site's performance in search results. And look, the benefits here are real. You can actually see them. Faster indexing is huge. If you're a news site publishing a breaking story, you need Google to see that page now, not next week. A sitemap makes that happen. It also guarantees that even those really deep pages get found. And what's really cool is that Search Console will report back to you, showing you exactly how many URLs from your map have made it into Google's index.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't just theory. Check out this number, 232. This comes from a real example where one single updated sitemap submission led Google to discover 232 pages it hadn't found before. That's 232 new chances to show up in search results. That's huge. So, if you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. An XML sitemap is a bridge. It closes the gap between your website and the search engines that are trying to understand it. It's not a suggestion, it is a direct instruction. It's a fundamental piece of technical SEO that helps make sure all your hard work actually gets seen.
So your map is in their hands. That's a huge step, but it kind of opens up a whole new question, right? What other signals can you send to these digital explorers to help them understand not just where your content is, but what it's about and why it's so valuable? Well, that's the next step on the journey.